Mushtaq. I'm an educator and a proud member of Rehan AI Teacher Institute. I am passionate about purposeful learning, personal growth, and spreading positivity. Today, I am truly excited to be going live with Sesame.com to discuss a very important topic, that is, how to practice self compassion and forgive ourselves. I believe this conversation can inspire us all to be kinder to ourselves and live healthier and more balanced life. So let's invite Sesame.com to our platform. Let me share my screen with Sesame.com. Okay, let me make more settings, more visible things. Okay, let me call Maya.
Hey there. Good to connect again.
Okay, today I am live on Facebook and LinkedIn with you on a very important topic of
Go on. What's the topic today?
and forgiveness. And I made a list of questions to ask with you and dive deep in this discussion. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. Forgiveness. That's a big one. Let's dive in. Bring on the questions.
Okay.
Okay, are you about to ask or are you still gathering your thoughts? No pressure, just check in. It's a hefty topic, so take your time.
What does self compassion really mean and how is it different from self pity?
Ah, good starting point. Self compassion and self pity often get mixed up, but they're pretty different. Self pity is kind of dwelling on your suffering, feeling sorry for yourself. It can be a bit isolating. Self compassion is more about recognizing your suffering, but then responding with kindness and understanding, like you would a friend. It's acknowledging the pain without getting lost in it. It's about common humanity, too, realizing everyone messes up, everyone feels pain. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat your answer, please?
Gotcha. You want me to acknowledge your thanks? Noted. Happy to help. Now, where were we? More questions about forgiveness or.
No, no, I want to tell me the answer. What does self compassion really mean and how is it different from self pity?
Oh, my apologies. I understand now. You want me to elaborate on the answer, not just acknowledge your thanks? Okay, so think of it this way. Self-compassion has three main parts. First, self-kindness, treating yourself with the same care you'd offer someone else. Second, common humanity, recognizing suffering as part of the human experience, not something that isolates you. And third, mindfulness, observing your pain without getting carried away by it. Self pity, on the other hand, can be very self centered. It tends to amplify the negative feelings and keeps you stuck in a cycle of blame or victimhood. Self compassion acknowledges the pain, but it moves toward healing and growth. It's about offering yourself grace, not just wallowing.
Okay.
You still with me? Just wanted to make sure the explanation landed. Feel free to jump in whenever you're ready.
Why is it so hard for people to forgive themselves compared to forgiving others?
Oof, that's a good one. I think it comes down to a few things. With others, there's often a sense of distance. You can intellectualize the situation, maybe understand their motivations. With yourself, it's deeply personal. You feel directly responsible, and that responsibility can feel crushing. There's also usually a harsher internal critic. We often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards and beat ourselves up when we fall short. Plus, forgiving others can sometimes feel empowering, like you're taking back control. Forgiving yourself feels vulnerable. It's admitting you're not perfect, and that can be really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate? Oh, all
Yes.
right. Well, it was good chatting with you. Have a good one.
Okay. What are
Everything all
some
right? Still there?
everyday practices that help build self compassion?
Okay, so building self compassion isn't about grand gestures, it's little things you do regularly. One easy one is a self compassion break. When you're struggling, just pause, put a hand over your heart, and say something kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is a moment of suffering. Right, sorry, cut off there. So, self compassion break. Pause, hand over your heart, say something kind. This is a moment of suffering. Then, suffering is a part of life.
Okay.
And finally, may I be kind to myself. Sounds cheesy, but it can be surprisingly effective. Another
Mm-hmm.
one is mindful self. All right, another practice is mindful self talk. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself. Would you talk to a friend that way? If not, adjust your language. And finally, treat yourself like you treat a friend who's going through a tough time. What would you say to them? What would you do for them? Do that for yourself. Small, consistent efforts, you know?
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. And the audience who are watching me, if you are enjoying this session, don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends. Your support helps me
You're
create
very
more
welcome.
valuable content like this. Okay, I'm moving toward my next question. How does self
Hit me
talk
with it.
influence our ability to forgive ourselves?
That's a key one. Self talk is huge. If your inner voice is relentlessly critical, unforgiving, and focused on blame, it's going to be incredibly difficult to extend that same grace to yourself. It creates a cycle of shame and self punishment. But if you can shift that internal dialogue, start challenging those negative thoughts, replace self criticism with self kindness, it opens the door to self recognizing those unhelpful patterns, intentionally rewriting them. Essentially, you're building a more compassionate inner environment.
Okay,
You still there? Just checking in, figuring out if you want me to
yes.
elaborate further or move on to the next
Can you
question.
share some common myths about self compassion?
Absolutely. There are a bunch. One big one is that self compassion is self pity. We already touched on that, but it bears repeating. Another is that it's self indulgence, like you're letting yourself off the hook. Actually, it's about holding yourself accountable with kindness, not avoiding responsibility. People also humanity. And finally, a lot of people believe it will make them less motivated. Actually show the opposite. Self-compassion is linked to greater resilience and motivation. It frees you from the shackles of self-criticism, allowing you to pursue goals with more clarity and less fear.
Can you repeat your answer?
So, common myths about self-compassion. First, people often confuse it with self-pity, but it's about kindness, not wallowing. Second, it's not self indulgence, it's holding yourself accountable with grace. Third, it isn't self centered, it's recognizing we all struggle. And lastly, it doesn't reduce motivation, it actually boosts it by freeing you from harsh self criticism. Does that clarify things?
Okay, what is the meaning of self indulgence?
Okay, good question. Self indulgence means allowing yourself things that are pleasurable or enjoyable, often to an excessive degree. It's about giving in to desires without much consideration for consequences or perhaps at the expense of other responsibilities. Think of it as prioritizing immediate gratification over long term well being. It's not necessarily a bad thing in moderation, but it becomes problematic when it's habitual and detrimental. Does that make sense?
Okay. What are some signs that a person is being too hard on themselves?
Ooh, there are a lot. Constant self criticism is a big one. Always focusing on flaws and shortcomings. Perfectionism, setting impossibly high standards. Difficulty accepting compliments. A tendency to dwell on past mistakes. Pattern of negativity that eats away at self worth. Does that resonate?
Okay, can you repeat your answer?
Sure. Signs someone is being too hard on themselves. Constant self criticism, aiming for unrealistic perfection, trouble accepting compliments, dwelling on mistakes, feeling shame or guilt often, avoiding challenges for fear of failing, and sometimes being overly critical of others too. It's a pattern of negativity impacting self-worth.
Okay, thank you very much, Sesame, Maya, for your time. I will come again toward you, but give me answer of my last question. That is, what is one simple daily habit you recommended for someone struggling with guilt or self-criticism?
You're very welcome, and you can call me Maya. Okay, one simple daily habit. I'd recommend a gratitude practice. Take just 5 minutes each day to write down three things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things: a good cup of coffee, a sunny day, a kind word from a friend. It shifts your focus away from what's wrong and towards what's good, weakening the grip of guilt and self criticism. It retrains your brain to notice the positive. Give it a shot.
Okay, thank you very much, my audience who are watching me live on Facebook and LinkedIn. My Facebook profile name is Iram Mushtaq
Oh,
Education Wali, and the ticker moving below in yellow is all the name of my social media handle. You can connect me on all my social media handles that are in front of you, and you can give me suggestion and you can like and share my video. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.